So guys, we're gonna take our quick moment of silence here and oh, okay, now I'm gonna rip some parts off. What's going on, guys, and welcome to today's video. And today it's gonna be kind of a sad video for us Jeep owners or lovers. As you can see, we've got the black Jeep out here, which you guys probably haven't seen since it's been lifted. Wheels and tires looking pretty cool. And then we've got the buddy Jesse's Silver 04 Overland, which you guys have seen when we've went out off-roading. But the sad thing is we are out at the salvage yard. Now no, these are not going to the salvage yard, but we are gonna go and look at supposedly a good one that ended up out here. We're gonna go out and pay our last respects and check it out. So I will head back in the yard and we will see if we can find this thing. All right, guys, now we made it out here, and looks can be very deceiving because we looked online. This salvage yard is pretty good and post pictures, and we thought, man, this is gonna be pretty cool. It's an 02 47 HO Overland, rock rails, all the stuff that it should have. And then we got out to it, and she rough girl, she done. So it's missing or incorrect wrong headlights. The rock rails are rusted through. Jesse was actually gonna grab the rock rails, but these are gone. Interior is just gone, ruined, steering wheel, everything's real bad on her. So you know, but it was, you know, like I said, quadra drive 47 HO. It's she rough, fender's gone. I've never seen a tow hook do this in my life. How is that yanking at about 60 miles an hour? I'm not sure, but that is that's now like a hook for, you know, I'm not even sure. So guys, we're gonna take our quick moment of silence here and oh, okay, now I'm gonna rip some parts off of it. That was all the moment of silence we could offer this poor thrashed 47. I think I'm going to try to grab the intake and the cylinder heads. This is a 02, and if you're a 47 guy, you know that the 02 is the magic year for the intake manifold. And hopefully the cylinder heads are in good shape. If they're drop valve seats, obviously they're trash. If it's been overheated, we will find out. But I'm gonna yank the heads, I'm gonna yank the intake, I'm gonna yank the cams, and yeah, hopefully those will get rebuilt, and then I can put those onto cheap Jeep and hopefully get all my parts on it that I've been planning to do for years now. So we're gonna get to work. Out here it's like 36 degrees, and we're out here trying to save some WJs and steal parts from ones that don't need to be saved. Well guys, this Jeep has been an absolute bust. I was all excited to get some HO heads for cheap Jeep. Started pulling this thing apart, got the intake off, and quickly found something missing. If you guys didn't know, there is a nice little embossed HO on the HO heads. And if you can see, this one does not have the HO embossed. And as we kind of looked at it closer, this whole motor is painted silver. The valve covers are silver. All the heads of the bolts are silver, which just tells us this is a Jasper or LKQ reman motor. This is just a standard output motor. This Jeep blew up in the past, needed a motor. Some shop put a motor in it, and you know, not their fault. HO motors are unavailable. They're unobtainium. You can't order those from a rebuilder. They just are all standard output at this point. So the HO got pulled out. The standard output got put in. So really the only thing I was able to grab was the, you know, mythical 02 47 HO intake manifold, the plug core as it's described online in the 47 community. As you can see here, we do have the silver HO plug on the back of this thing, showing that it is the, again, mythical 02 HO intake. So that's about all I'm gonna get off this thing. Jesse wasn't even able to get rock rails. Like we said, they're absolutely rusted and gone. This is kind of a lost cause here, guys. So the 2 seconds or the 0.2 of a second of moment of silence may have been too much for this thing, because it is absolutely utterly gone. This is not one that should have been saved. It definitely deserves to be here in the salvage yard, and there's not even that many good parts on this thing. So Yeah, we're gonna go on to the next Jeep. Jesse needs to grab a open diff 373 non-Verilok carrier out for his brother's Jeep because he is getting ready to swap into a lunchbox locker. So we're gonna go lay out in the dirt and grab a carrier out of this thing and probably get out of here, because now we aren't pulling heads, which is kind of a lot better job to not have to do out here in the cold. All right, guys, in like 10 minutes max, maybe, we've got the front diff yanked out of this thing. It is a it served its purpose. I don't know how well you guys can tell or not, but it is massively smashed. The axle was actually stuffed up into the body, held up. We had to pull a sway bar end link bolt out, and then the whole axle dropped. It was pretty interesting and sketchy, but we got axles yanked out, and this was the carrier we were looking for. This is just a open 373 brake carrier, because we are now in process of kind of pulling out all of our front Veriloks, because we found they aren't quite as aggressive as they need to be now that we've got larger tires. So we are now kind of all in process of swapping back to open carriers so we can put lunchbox lockers in these fronts of the WJs. When they're in two-wheel drive, you won't even really notice anything. So that's what we needed here for one of the other buddies' Jeeps. So while we were out here, we grabbed that. So it wasn't a complete bust. We got an intake and a front carrier. So not what I wanted to come out with today. I wanted the cool HO heads, but that it isn't always going to work out that way. Well, guys, we came in and got a few things that we were hoping to get, but not all of the things. Like I said, we got our cool O2 intake manifold and our front open carrier for one of our other buddies' Jeeps. So yeah, that's super bummer. You know, you pay your money to get into the salvage yard because you are expecting those parts to be on the vehicle, and you got to the vehicle and they're either already taken, they're damaged, or in this case, they were the wrong parts on the vehicle. Like we said, they were not HO heads on this thing, even though it was supposed to be an HO. It had had a motor failure or heads replaced or whatever in the past, which equaled it not having the parts we needed. So luckily this is very local to us. We didn't drive 3 hours to go find this engine and it be the wrong thing. So it's just one of the things you deal with at a pick and pull salvage yard, is stuff is not ever really gonna be what you expect. But we got a few parts. We got some kind of cool parts, and we're gonna load up and call it a day. So sorry for the very short hodgepodge cut together video, but 30 degrees in the standing water and mud is not terribly conductive to filming. So we're gonna load up, we're gonna hit the road, and hopefully next we'll be getting Cheap Jeep into the garage, tear that motor apart, put some of our cool parts on it, and hopefully make it stop smoking with the new valve stem seals, and maybe make more power with some cool parts. So guys, as always, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time. And then we got out to it, and she rough girl, she done.